have Haley Garcia today. I'm really, really excited for this one. I've been talking with her for a while to try and get this something scheduled with Haley, and we got on our schedule before the end of the year. Haley is a Pueblo de Nes professional with over 9 years of experience in community and economic development. She also has a lot of experience that I know in co-working, which is where I work in at Change Labs. She's a graduate of Columbia College Chicago and has managed co-working spaces, provided technical assistance to tribal nations, and supported over 500 BIPOC entrepreneurs. As founder of Workforce, she offers virtual operations and project management for entrepreneurs and tribal clients. Her past roles include event coordinator for Sandoval County and board member for San Felipe Pueblo Enterprises. And Haley is dedicated, like Change Labs and all of our other great organizations that she has worked with, as well as us, to helping Native communities thrive through efficiency, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So Haley, let me turn the time over to you and I will stop share. Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, Raquel. And definitely it's long overdue. We've been talking about this for a while now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Time is Sacred, Simple Automations for Your Business. Hopa. Again, I'm Haley Garcia, and I'm from San Felipe Pueblo and also the Navajo Nation. So pretty much this is a work with design workshop. This is a session tailored to Indigenous entrepreneurs, leaders, artisans, and organizational leaders who are pretty much bound, who are reaching capacity, who have limited resources, but are always intentional with their missions and their visions of what they're doing as an individual or even as a business. So work with, we believe in automation. That's where we kind of specialize in, is just developing those workflows, those automations for the back end systems of your businesses. And yeah, and we believe that automation shouldn't replace human connection. It should definitely protect it and enhance it. Hence, time is sacred. I value my time, and I know all of you all value your time as well. And so that's why we're focusing specifically with this session on scriptless tools. They're easy to use, there's no coding involved, and it's pretty much using the tools that you might already be using or you are already using. So like Gmail, Google Calendar, Microsoft Outlook, and more. So our goal today is to help you shift from that repetitive admin work to continuously build those meaningful connections and have a creative focus, a leadership focus. And I hope you leave this session with some knowledge and practical tools that you can immediately apply. Okay. So we are this is a 90-minute workshop. It's interactive. I'm going to do like step by steps from the presentation from each, section. So we have email, we have calendar, we have form intakes. So yeah. Okay. So it also includes dedicated time for any Q&A. So I'm going to keep track of the time. So if we don't get through all the automation examples, I will stop and then kind of leave some room for some Q&As and to maybe discuss any concepts. And if we need to, maybe have a part 2 to these automations. Okay, so why automation matters? Like again, automation is not a threat to human connection. It's a tool to preserve it. In many Indigenous communities, time is not just a commodity, it's a sacred resource tied to the relationships we have, the responsibilities, and especially to the rhythms of our culture. And one of the reasons why I even developed or began to grow or have worked with is because I needed that time and space to spend with my family and my son. And a Western world of work did not accommodate for that. So yes, this is why reducing the time we spend on our own business's administrative overload is very essential. Okay. And then common time drains within our communities is definitely that email overwhelm. We have very limited capacity. Sometimes it's just one or two people managing these businesses. I know from experience, definitely running the spaces that I run, and these aren't Indigenous businesses. These are just nonprofits or just small businesses. We run everything from programming to operations to outreach, literally everything. We're all hats. And the most common time drains we see are very avoidable if we have the right systems in place. And that's where we're at today, is to teach you these simple automations. And these aren't just like inconvenient. They reduce your ability to focus, again, just the time that you might have for ceremony. Because I know as a Pueblo woman, like we have a lot of roles in San Felipe. And again, it's like it's showing up and being there and being present with my family and my community and also my clients. Again, a lot of working with tribal nations and indigenous businesses. You kind of have to show up, and it's a lovely time when you show up too, and it shows that you care for them as your client. And again, going back to that community, May 1st, we have our Pueblo feast day in San Felipe, and it's not just the May 1st day, it is preparation time. So even participating like 2 or 3 weeks before that May 1st, and it's dedicating that time to my community, my family. So these are just kind of like just my personal like insights into just the different time drains that a lot of admin kind of plays part of. Alrighty, so we're gonna go again. This is a scriptless automation. What is scriptless automation? It means exactly that. No scripts, no codes, no technical setup. These are practical time savers, hidden inside tools that you're already using, as mentioned, like Gmail, Google Calendar, Outlook, Excel, which we are gonna kind of go through. And then whether you're responding to client emails, booking meetings, or managing event reminders, like small changes add up. Like it might save you like 10 to 15 minutes here, just again with a template or a booking scheduler. But those all add up to be hours. And this workshop is built to help you discover and implement these tools. Okay, going back, we're going to cover 5 core automation areas that almost every business and organization can benefit from. These focus points are chosen to deliver maximum time saving with the smallest learning curve. Some of you might already have these implemented. Some of you might be like just double checking if they are implemented, or you're just getting started. Um, so whether it's like managing a crowded inbox, we're going to be looking at filters and setting those up, scheduling meetings so you don't have to go with the back and forth, and then also streamlining with like client intake. I'll even show you some of my own processes with my business, just how I have things tied into my systems with that. And again, these are 100% scriptless. They're accessible through your basic settings. It literally, some of them is just a toggle of a switch on your settings part to help you implement some of these automations. Okay, so managing email can literally feel like it's never ending. As a as with work with a lot of some of our admin is email management. So it's setting that up, even like personal assisting in some capacity, where we're literally just monitoring emails and just making sure they go into the right inboxes, or even the important ones are highlighted and put to the top. Um, so again, what if your inbox is sorted itself? What if they're responded to faster? What if they're delegated without you even doing anything about it, or without even like lifting a finger or getting onto your email? So in this section, like we're gonna explore that with Gmail and Outlook, and how you can automatically organize your messaging using the filters, the labels, the rules, and folders. And so we'll show you how to use templates and quick reply tools to avoid rewriting the same messaging. I'm a big person of templates. I'm like a big template writer. So, because those really save a lot of time. And it also saves a lot of energy. And it allows me to put my energy where it matters most. And again, it's me spending time with my family, it's spending time with my son, and it's just me just gallivanting where I'm at that point of time. That's what's important to me. So the first one we're going to go through is a Gmail automation. I don't know if you want to raise your hand or something if you guys have filters and labels set up into your systems right now, specifically with Gmail. So we're going to walk through just how to set that up within Gmail, how we're going to use the filters and label to organize incoming messages automatically based on keywords, who's sending it to you, or subject matters. So this turns your inbox literally into like, again, a personal assistant to help you kind of like section those emails out. And then next we'll enable some templates. Again, it's literally a toggle of a switch, also known as canned responses, like the repetitive emails that you're constantly sending. So again, like welcome to work with onboarding. Having to redo that over and over and over again can be very tiring and exhausting. So why not save a message that you can automatically just insert? So all of these features are available in both the free and paid version. So I do have the paid version of Google Workspace, but I will show you they're kind of both the same, and these are mostly within the free account. And this is about just reclaiming mental energy and avoiding that repetition. So let's get started. So again, I'm going to go kind of back and forth between the presentation and into setting things up. Let me see. So I do have Tess Garcia. So Tess Garcia is what's it called? Tess Garcia is my testing account. So we're gonna hang out with Tess Garcia today. Oops, wrong one. And then here, let's see. I'm hoping you guys can see Tess Garcia. Are you able to see Tess? Can Raquel or Sophia let me know?
We see the Google homepage.
Alrighty. Usually should pop up. Let me pull it from another one. All right. So I do have these tabs up because I do want to share these links. So my scriptless automation, time is sacred, 10 steps, and the audit your repetitive tasks. I'm gonna share this in the chat. It's kind of gonna be what we're going through. Or I don't know if I have access to the chat. So we're gonna follow these. These are literally the steps that we're taking for this automation setup. How do I do the chat? I can't see the chat thing, Tom.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
I'm trying to post this link for to so people can follow along,
Okay. The work.
but I can't see the chat. Yeah, the it's going to be workwith.craft.me/script list. So that same workwith.craft.me, but slash script list is what we're going to go cover. Okay, so anyways, we're going to go back to Tess Garcia. Alrighty, so we're going to do the Gmail, the filters, and the labeling. Again, this is Tess Garcia. We're going to create those labelings, which is what it does is it automatically sorts emails into folders. So it could be clients, vendors, invoices, and it's available for both the free and paid versions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the settings button. So a lot of these are within the settings, as I mentioned. And then we're going to go to see all settings and then go to filters and blocked addresses. And then we're going to just create one. So you're gonna see like create new filter. Since I already have one implemented here. Again, this is for use case of this session. We have create a new filter. It's gonna give you a series of questions, but let's go create one just for stuff. So say it's an important client, you're creating different folders. So for instance, it's gonna be Haley Garcia, who's the founder of Work With, and subject matter could be like, we'll say has the words within the subject, could be a vendor, or you can also put has the words. It can be different words in the emails containing like invoice, important, well, too important too. Just however you want to set these up. Confirmation. Okay, and that's pretty much it, just creating that filter. And you can always do like different words on here. It doesn't have to be all of one complete sentence. So you can do important, you can do priority, just whatever words you want this email to contain, or do you believe this email will contain, then it'll go into this filtered system and eventually into a folder. So that's why you're setting up the criteria for it. So we're going to star it, we'll apply a label. So we're applying a label, we create a new label, and we'll do important vendors, because this one is specifically for vendors. Then we're creating that label. We can also forward it. So again, if it's important, or if you do have a personal assistant, this is where you can set that up to set it to an email address to who you need to. So for instance, if any inquiries come my way specifically from important vendors, then and someone's monitoring the info@workwith.com email, then we can send it that way if it's coming from Haley, the founder. Or you can delete it if you're getting, so depending on how your workflow goes, say you have things tied to your website, but it's still, you have an email affiliated with your website and you're just getting these spam oriented emails from a website that you have posted that's public to the world, and you're noticing it's a certain type of email that's coming through and it's flooding your email, you can opt in to set up different ways to delete it, or send it to spam, however you want to create a filter. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, like I said, I have the two different ones.
I had a question about automation, the filters of just
Yep.
trying to understand like what are some of the things I could apply this to. So, for example, with the vendors, if you have the filter, like what does that look like from like getting the email and then it getting filtered, and how does that, like just that specific example, help you with what you're trying to automate?
Yeah, so if you do, so for example, we're doing the from a client. So if you have specific clients that you're working with and you want to ensure that all of their emails are like settings, like all organized in a folder, or you don't have to put a from somebody. It can be subject based. So these filters will help you organize your inbox so it's not just all in one, like just one inbox. Whereas it'll all segue into the folders that you have set up on your side. So a lot of automation does take some pre-planning. So you do have to understand just I guess your processes of just who you're working, your why for your business, who are you working with, like the different vendors you might be working with, the type of communication you're receiving, and then create those filters or create those, yeah, labelings. And this is so filters in any email, so Google or Outlook are there to basically just organize your inbox. So for example, what I have on the screen, I have from Haley at Work With, against this Tess Garcia's account. So say because I am the founder of Work With, and again I'll do an example from emailing Tess Garcia about something right now. So if you're emailing your employees or emailing clients and they have their system set up for filters and automations, then they'll see it on their end. Things will be organized. But let me continue with this. So again, for example, we have Haley Garcia, which is me, the founder, and I'm emailing my employee, Tess Garcia, about onboarding a new client and seeing if they received the invoice, and then they can do the rest work from there. All right, so I'm emailing my side, which you won't see, but we will go back to. But any other questions?
I have a question slash concern. I mean, I'm totally lost. I have no idea what you're talking about. And, I'm trying to follow along. You have to sign up, and it's almost useless if I'm not going to be able to be on the same page. And I can't read your Zoom. It's so small. So I don't know how I benefit from this.
Okay, let me see. I don't know. Is everyone having that problem with having to sign up? It should just be an online document that you shouldn't have to sign up with. So I want to make sure everyone is able to access it.
I have the link open, but I'm also just following along with your screen share.
I can't see the screen is my problem.
Okay, are you on a laptop or is
Laptop. I'm just gonna dip out. All right. All right. Thank
Is anyone else having a problem with the scriptless automation page? It should just be a document that's online and you shouldn't have to sign up for it. So I just want to make sure it's accessible to everyone.
Yeah, I can see it and I can see your screen. I'm following along, so.
All right.
Tyler, we are
Uh,
recording, so we can share the link with you once we have the video edit. But if you want to just also follow along, just in case anything does come in clear, but we can also check in with you afterwards, Tyler, if that's okay.
Alrighty. So yeah, so we're gonna go on again. Sorry about that, everyone. So as you can see, we have Tess Garcia's things going on. Let me redo this. Settings, make sure the filter is, we're gonna edit that. Continue, label. You can create the new labels and create. Alrighty, so I'm sending an email from Haley Garcia, from Haley at Tess at Work With. So it should pop into test Garcias and kind of show you just like how it kind of sections things off and organizing that. Give it a second. Already not doing that. Something happened there. Okay, so that one didn't work right. Sorry, I'm kind of like discombobulated now. Let's do the vendor confirmation then. So again, I'm doing it on my end with my Haley Garcia. I'm emailing my employee about a vendor confirmation. And just say it's important. Okay, the email is sent. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. Subject greater than file label. Oh, sorry. Categorizing. Apply label. Mark as read. And okay, let me resend this one. So I do have these all templated on my end. So that's why I'm just trying to resend them because I wanted this to be a little bit more live so you guys can kind of see how it works. Okay, they're just gonna have to redo these. I'm sorry, everyone. All right. Now we'll move on to Outlook. Alrighty. So let me get back into my flow of things.
It's really helpful just to see you like navigating through all the different options, so at least for me.
Oh yeah, that's why I have my written notes too, because like I said, technology is interesting.
Yeah.
So back to the settings. We're going again back to filters and blocked addresses. Create the filter. This one's going to be again from Haley at work with. And then we are passwords. Onboarding. So even with subject matters, like just tying things into your own website, because I don't know if you've seen any like applications that say subject, make sure this is the subject line. So that kind of shows that you have or they have these filters in place is when they say make sure this you you title your email when you're sending your application in or sending in this document that the subject line is this. So that just shows they have a system in place where it's filtering that your email to go into the proper folder. So that's kind of why you see some of those. Let me just look at my notes just in case too. It's just that one wasn't working. So just do subject, onboarding, creating that filter. Then we're gonna do apply to label, onboarding. And then also you can like send a template when things come that way. Always mark it as important too, and then create that. So I am sending this on my end to test. Give it a second. Emails into interwebs. Alrighty, there you go. So again, it's really you have to get things kind of strategized before you even begin to put things into place. So I do have it did pop into the general everything, but you do have it like your onboarding in your onboarding folder. So when you're just in it, you can see it just filters into the right labels. So just recommend just how you're labeling things, how you want to segue emails and organize it. So it could be personal if you just have one inbox, because I know with email addresses, you can set up aliases. So you can have one inbox, but you can apply like a hello at work with, apply clients at work with through those aliases, and it still goes to one inbox. That's one way without paying like a workspace, like what is it, $16 now? So $16 per email account, that's one way to bypass that. But just understand it goes into one inbox. So it could get messy if you're putting hello at work with or clients at work with on multiple platforms, so email or documents. But if you set up these filtrations and these labels, especially so you can create a label that's from hello at work with and a label that's from clients at work with, and because they all go into one alias email, you can automatically just see them all kind of, what's it called, you can kind of see them organized in that form. All right, that's kind of an example. Again, you can do it by subject line, or you can do it by just what's even in the body of the email. So if you have different words, those can fall in line into whatever you set up as labels. Alrighty, so that's Google. That's for Google. Now we're gonna toggle to just again the canned email template. Again, canned responses, and it all, as I mentioned, starts off with the settings button. And if you know that you can go to advanced, so in the advanced in your settings, you do have to enable, and I don't know if you're following along, you have to enable templates because it's automatically disabled. So you have to enable your templates under your settings in your Google Gmail settings. Enable template. So again, that's the settings wheel, going to advanced and then enabling your template. So once that is enabled, you definitely can start creating templates. And to start creating a template, you have to compose. So we are composing. So for example, we'll do hello, welcome, and then just uh, welcome to work with, and visit our website. So again, we're just creating this as we go, but this is going to be a template. So to create a template, you have to compose. And then sincerely, Haley, or Tess Garcia, sorry. Tess Garcia. And then, so once you have it composed, definitely don't put a recipient because it's going to be this is a draft template. You're going to go to the three dots where it says options, and let me make it a little bit bigger. So you craft whatever canned response that you often get. This is a response that you send to your clients or send to your family, friends, vendors consistently all the time. So you're creating something that you just can send all the time. Canned response. And go to more options, and then because you enable templates, you're going to see templates on your three dots now. So then you're going to save this draft as a template. Save as new template. And this is just going to be a hello, welcome. And then I'm going to do website. Alrighty, so now you have a template created. So when you're composing, you can just go again to those three dots, go to your templates, and you see these templates. So I created one as a general inquiry template. So you can put that in there. So hello, thank you for contacting Work With. And again, this is for those responses that you consistently have to send. And you just enter in that client or that list that you might have. So that's how you create those templates for those canned responses on Google specifically. Alrighty. Any questions about templates? Anyone utilize templates on their Google as I set up for Outlook?
I think the templates are cool. Thanks for showing that. And I think it connects with what you just showed before about the folders. So like when you send out those template responses, then you know that when they respond to it, that it's going to have certain words in it because you sent out that template. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, again, like strategically, you have to strategize just how you're implementing some of these automations. You want to understand your processes of like your client intake, what responses you're sending, what you're expecting to receive back from them, so you can set those up. So that's why even with I will send out some links after this workshop to kind of I do have a task audit document that you can utilize to audit your tasks and see what is redundant, and you can begin to formulate and strategize how to implement those automations.
Do you know if Google has an automation for like when people like fill out a Google form, can there be like automated email template or even
Oh,
a chain or even a chain of emails sequence?
yes, that one, but that's more that does require some scripting. So that is not a
Oh,
scriptless. Yeah, that's not scriptless. That does require some scripting within their what's it called app script. So they utilize app script, and it's a Google workflow automation implementation, and you do have to what's it called? You do have to do some scripting with that one. So that one's a medium, what's it called? So after you pass the non-scripting, you can bounce into the scripting. And that's something I do implement as well, because I do have some scripts already written where I do have a client intake form and and I can a client intake form where it does send that information to you, or it does send a what's it called? A confirmation with some additional information, but that's something you have to build into that script. Good question, though.
Thank you.
Okay. So next up, we're going to pop into Outlook. Let me pull it up. Has anyone else utilized templates?
I know that I'm old school, so I'm like definitely learning from this because I am that person who sends everybody a separate template and I try to make it personal to each person when I am sending out vendor like confirmations for our holiday markets and stuff. So I think that this is really helpful. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we are in an Outlook account. As you can see, I'm utilizing an account for my mom's business because she's going through a rebranding right now. So it's empty and it's able for me to play with. Okay, so we're going to do rules. So Outlook, instead of automations and stuff, or what's it called? Filters. And instead of calling it filters, they utilize rules for their automations. And again, this is free. It's with the free versions and it's also with the paid version. The free one is kind of limited. So again, anything always starts with the settings wheel. So in Outlook, we're going to go to the settings. Then we're going to go to new rule. Then we're adding this new rule here. And this rule I'm going to name, where do I have it in this? What should we do? So again, rules are triggers. Hang on. All right, so we're gonna name this one a new order. So since it's my mom's company, which she does have a custom cookie company, so I don't know if you got any cookies from my mom. So essentially she makes custom cookies. So we're creating a new order rule. And we are going to set conditions. Alrighty, so we're going to move to folder. Or receive. Or mark it as important. Be easy. So mark it as important. High, because this is a new order. It's business for my mom. And we're going to add, oh, sorry. Okay, we'll do it from an email. We'll do it from Haley. So from here, you can put like any email addresses. So it could be like your what's it called? Your system. So if you have like a ordering system and you have a email tied to it, or it has an email tied to it. You can apply it to here, like I kind of embed it into the email sections. So again, new order from my mom's platform where she gets her orders from, and then it marks it with importance on her side. Because again, all these systems have a way of talking to each other. We can also add another condition too. You can tailor these as much as possible. So the subject can contain subject or body includes. Actually, what is it? So the subject or body is a new order. Again, example, we'll do, there's different words, order confirmation. So if it's from our system, you always get an order confirmation. Enter that. And then we can also do like invoices. So if you receive invoices, receipts. Enter that word. Or again, if it's a platform, it can be Square if it comes from, if it has the word Square, or we'll do Shopify. So Shopify. So if your system is Shopify, mark it with importance, high, and then we'll add another action, which is including, we are going to move it to a folder called, or create a new folder. Orders. Then we're saving that. Run roll now. Alrighty, so I'm doing an email to hello@2prettysweets, which is my mom's rebranded company. And then we'll do new cookie order confirmation. We'll do from Shopify, say if Shopify was your platform. And then 12 dozen. Okay, so I'm sending that email now to hello@2prettysweets.com, which is my mom's company. Wait for it to pop in. So again, just like Google, it has its own filter system. For Outlook, it's called rules, or yeah, setting up your rules. Alrighty, so see, you can see my, like, there's nothing in my inbox, but I know I have something. So now it's in our order inbox. Okay, so she did get a new cookie order confirmation, dozen, thanks. So that's how you utilize rules in Outlook. To kind of filter things into important folders. So again, these are scenarios where you have platforms connected to your email. You have multiple platforms. Again, you're just one person. You're one person running this operations. You're using different platforms. How can you kind of like organize the inbox that everything goes into one inbox? Because I know, for example, my info at workwith.com kind of is tied to a lot of my different systems. So just setting up even my systems to accommodate for my client portal, my expense reporting app, just having it all one inbox, it does get a little bit messy. So setting up these rules or these filters kind of help put everything in there. And especially when you're sending invoices to yourself, you can set up a folder or a rule to where it's you're forwarding an email of your invoice to you, but you use a keyword. Knowing those keywords kind of help create, again, just your organizing your inbox. Okay. Any questions on Outlook and rules? Alrighty then. Let me go. Okay, so we kind of went through these scenarios. Alrighty, so Okay, so we talked about enabling your templates. Again, that's not automatically on. So with all Google, you have to turn your templates. Otherwise, you won't see that template in your Google account. We went through Outlooks. You can create those categories, your folders to organize your inboxes. Okay, let's go into calendar management, which is pretty easy peasy. I'm assuming that if you're a small business, you're utilizing Google Calendar, or you're utilizing Microsoft Outlook. And these are as simple as just color coding your events or utilizing built-in buffer times between your meetings. So if you're having back-to-backs, I recommend ensuring that you put some like 5 minutes or even 10 minutes between meetings. Otherwise, you're just back to back to back to back. As someone who does coaching in a cohort that's virtual, I have had like 5 back-to-back meetings, and I learned that at least 10 minutes to set up, get ready for the next one is kind of at the minimum, but 15 minutes in between buffer time is like the best. I highly suggest 15 minutes because I've done a back-to-back to back-to-back day. But also with Google, again, which is my system of choice for my business, it allows you to set up like how many you can take per day of this type of meeting. So I can kind of show you what that looks like in a second. So again, calendar management helps with burnout if you have the buffers, and there's global settings. So if you do have a business and you do have multiple employees, make sure to look at your global settings for reminders and confirmations and even color coding so everything's uniform. Okay, so Google Calendar includes a lot of powerful automation tools, as I mentioned, and we're just doing the scriptless versions, but there are like the versions where you do have to at least have sense of scripting, which means coding. So if you have a little bit of coding sense, or you can utilize work with services. We do have some scripts that we do already work with implementing, as Adrian had asked that question of like, if I have an intake form, how does it send a confirmation that's personalized, tailored to the individual who filled it out? We can implement those as well. So again, color coding, multiple calendars. So you have just one inbox. And again, if you're a one-person operation teams or two-person operations team, definitely highly recommend color coding, especially when you have multiple calendars. As I mentioned, I do some coaching, cohort coaching. I have like just like coffee chats with some people, and even just setting up my own systems to accommodate for just personal time with family, friends, as I am away from my family. So even just talking to them, definitely color code what's in my calendar so I just can look at it at a glance and see like, oh, okay, like I have a call with my auntie next week, or I have a call with a client the same day. Definitely recommend templates as well. But because when you use all of these together, they all tie into one another. That literally is a game changer with just reducing the workload on your end with managing your emails and your calendars, and it helps with just you overall. And the same thing with Outlook. Again, we'll go back to those, just setting up those default email reminders. Outlook is a little bit more proactive when it comes to Teams because you have like those global settings and the global settings that you can do across the board if you have that admin right. So definitely look at your admin settings or your global settings to ensure that everything's consistent. And again, if you do have employees or you do have someone that you partner with that utilizes your umbrella of platforms, definitely look at those global settings and ensuring that you're also promoting that. You're promoting the reduction of fatigue, meeting fatigue, by just making sure those buffers are between any meetings that are set up within your system. Okay, so we're gonna go to this. Hold on, let me go back to my calendar. So I'm gonna show you Google Calendars. Kind of have set things. I'm gonna utilize mine. How I have mine kind of set up. Again, we're utilizing the how to use the schedulers if you haven't implemented your schedulers. As you can see, right now we're in Time is Sacred. And now I'm seeing time is almost concluding. But I utilize my scheduler. So I have my work with strategy sessions. You can kind of take a gander at how I have it set up. And I always recommend your schedulers within your specific platform. So Outlook has the same type of implementation of your schedulers. You just have to activate it. So again, if you don't have that admin right to it, definitely contact your IT department to see if they can turn on Microsoft Bookings, which is Outlook's version of scheduler within Google. So it helps you set up like what types of appointments you want to set up within your systems. For me, I have a 45-minute strategy session that you can access. I have this link embedded into my website, so it automatically just goes into my system right away. And I have it set to my schedule. So again, just based off of what you're meeting people for and why you're meeting people for, you can set it up. So I tend to not like to do meetings on Mondays and Fridays with just incoming inquiries. So I have just Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays on. But as my life changes, definitely my own general availability changes. So those are you can change those, format those. And again, going back to your scheduling windows, here on Google, it's called scheduling windows, and even just buffer times. You can set those different settings up. So you can set it for strategy sessions, you can set up within 30 days, so in advance. But if it's for something specific, like after this session to contact me, like you can set up all your advanced days, your appointment times. And appointment times can be like helpful again within different industries. So if you're a hairstylist, definitely you don't want to get an appointment from someone like within like yesterday. If you're already kind of booked, like you want to set time to accommodate for certain types of services or products your business might be providing. So that's how you kind of set up your advanced booking options. And the minimum time bookings, you definitely don't want to not be prepared for a meeting. So for mine, it's the strategy sessions. I have at least a 4 hour before you're able to meet with me when you book a strategy session with Work With, just so I can read and see just what data you inputted and the reasoning why you want to meet. So I can do research on my end based on that inquiry. And even just to learn a little bit more about the business who's inquiring, I have that embedded into my strategy session intake. And then booked appointment settings. So again, you can do your buffer times. You can change your maximum settings. I know mine is based off of my availability. That's why the buffer time and max bookings per day isn't activated right now, because I do have it tied to like my availability. And with Google Workspace, this isn't the free version, this is the paid version. You do have the options of, again, a booking form. Like you can create that form within the scheduler. Same thing with Outlook, you can do that as well. Create a form tied to it. And then you can also set up some, I believe, payment options. Yeah. So with the paid versions of both Google and Outlook, Microsoft Bookings, you can embed a payment feature. And depending on your systems, a lot of the scheduling systems do allow you to embed a payment feature. I want to have a 2 hour strategy session with you, like how much does it cost type of thing situation. You can connect your Stripe or connect any of the payment processing systems into your scheduler. Then also policies, you can create that cancellation policy. Again, if you're a hairstylist, you don't want to accommodate for a booking without them understanding the policy that if they cancel like 10 minutes before the session that like that there's no repercussions for that because time is money and like I said, time is sacred. Your time is very valuable too. And so like I mentioned, I do have multiple uh, schedulers embedded in my system. So I have my strategy session and then I also have my client portal bookings, which as you can see is tied to my work with info at work with and then mine personally just so I can oversee. But I do have a client portal that this is linked to my client portal. So they have a separate way to book time and those are separated. But those are just some, again, just some suggestions. Anyone utilize their scheduler with either Outlook or Google?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that one's a pretty easy one. Let me go back to the Outlook calendars. Same thing with Outlook calendar, except it's just called Microsoft bookings. Same format of setting up your time, your scheduler information. So again, scheduling, having that option, it's a little bit more professional looking. And I don't know if you're aware that you can embed like available times with Google and both Outlook too is sending out that link. So if you have it, I recommend embedding those links into your, what's it called? Into your signatures. Just so book time with me, you often see those in those signatures. That is literally that link into your scheduler is what that book time with me is. Because it does help with that going back and forth. And often I do utilize that booking personally when I see it when people that I do want to have a meeting with. Like I don't know if it's just my age or something, but I do always look into the signatures like, oh, I did email this person and let me utilize their booking link because it's right there. Okay. I know we're kind of like cutting close to time. Does anyone have any questions about any topics or any concepts right now? I don't believe we're gonna kind of go through again the gist of it. So we went through the Google scheduling, the booking settings, customizing your availability, just kind of showed you overview of what I've implemented. And it varies from the free version to the paid version. Both of them, I know with the paid version, you do get a little bit more schedules that you can create compared to the free version. And then Microsoft is the same thing. They're all customizable, so definitely utilize customs to like changing the schedulers to your colors, utilizing, your brand colors and your logos when you need to, and then push that booking link out. I personally, I embed those into my website when I can, or even in my signature, my emails. Okay, so then auto responses. Again, this is an easy one. We talk about those vacation auto responses. So that leads me into reminding you all it's around holiday time. So start composing your out of office signatures or out of office responses. Because I know us for the Pueblos, we are very busy during the holidays. So a lot of them will be out of the offices pretty soon. But that's, again, here if you go to the settings and you see all settings, that is going to be, we'll scroll down, vacation responder. So on Google, they changed it to vacation responder. So right now it's off because I'm not on vacation, but come holiday time, Tess Garcia is going to be on vacation around for Thanksgiving, spending time with family, friends. And so you can set up that first day. So this is Google again, just it's general settings. Scroll down, you have the vacation responder, utilize those settings. So you can maintain that communication with clients, letting them know who to contact if there's an emergency or if they need immediate client care with whatever service or product. Definitely always like recommend putting in like the next point of contact, recommend I just other avenues to contact you if they need anything with your product or even again your services. And then let me scroll through. And for Outlook, same thing, the settings wheel, as mentioned at scriptless, it's all settings related. We're gonna go to, where did it go? Sorry, it's account. So settings wheel, account, and then signatures. Sorry, we're not doing signatures. It's automatic replies. So each platform has their own specific things where these auto response options are. For Google, it is vacation responder. For Outlook, it is automatic replies. These are all options that you have to enable. So they're not automatically on, they're not automatically implemented. You have to turn them on and off. So again, with Outlook, it is settings, account, automatic replies, you turn it on, and then you can set the duration of these automatic responses. So again, we're coming around holiday time. How are we setting these up now just to think about for Thanksgiving and for Christmas? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of scroll past because it's almost time just to kind of do some next steps. So we're just gonna stop at auto responses and just showing the otherwise. Let me go through here. Okay, so within the document that I will be sharing after this workshop, I do have some bonus automations. Again, these are all script lists. You don't need to code or anything. These are links that will be sent out, and I will ensure that they are public. They're not, we don't have to subscribe or sign up for the system that I'm currently using to put these on the webs. So there are a few of them. So you can just continuously start saving time and implementing them step by step. And one of the automations that I really like is just turning on a switch into Google in your Google Calendar, and it's turning on your daily agenda. That's been my favorite so far, and I can actually show you right now. So if you go to your settings, it's literally just a switch, but it formulates a email that's sent to you. It just gives you a recap of your whole entire day. And it's been a game changer for me, if I just remember to find it. But it's called Daily Agenda. Okay, so you go to any of your calendars. So in your calendars settings, go to your calendar. So Haley Garcia, for me, and I have my work with workshops, and then of course like birthdays and stuff. But if you turn on your daily agenda and have it emailed to you under other notifications, those have been game changers because it puts everything together in an email, a document, and it just gives you just this timetables of what's happening throughout your day. So I recommend turning on your daily agenda because it's been like the best simple turn on switch for me. with all my different emails, all my different calendars. So we're going to go into the 10-step automation guide. As mentioned, I will send out this link after this concludes. So it's pretty much a roadmap. So 10-step roadmap that'll help you to go from your idea to implementation with confidence and ease with these step-by-step ways. Just to start identifying like your biggest time drain and then selecting one automation area that you want to focus on. So whether it's Google or Microsoft, whatever tool you're utilizing, it has step-by-step instructions going to implement just what we've gone through, but also the ones we haven't gotten into either. So definitely I will send out the link to the 10-step automation guide. And then again, like you don't have to overhaul everything at once today to benefit from automation. As you saw, it's as simple as turning on a switch, which was the templates for Google. You literally just have to enable and turn on these switches. So quick wins, you can just just start implementing within 30 minutes or less, and they'll immediately start saving you some time. Definitely, we're in the age of AI technology, so create those canned responses. Ask ChatGPT, ask Gemini, ask Copilot to help you with these canned responses and formulate like the top 4 right now, and then just start embedding those into your platforms. And then again, just create a booking link, embed that into your signature, embed it into your website, into your social media, your link in bios. Those are considered automation. And then again, just make it simple. Like the simplicity is powerful. The automations you've learned that I was able to go through, they're not flashy, they're not expensive. They're simple switches that you turn on and they make a real big difference because it's these actions that might take 10 minutes at a time. Again, an email, just crafting an email, sometimes you get boggled by how perfect it is before you send it. If you already have it created, just send it out as a template. You can start saving time today and these minutes start adding up and you're spending more time with where you need to spend time at. And efficiency doesn't mean rushing as well. Like again, this is tailored to Indigenous entrepreneurs, leaders, organizations. In context, it means just realigning back with our values and our time and how we're using our time with purpose. When we automate our admin, we open doors to like just building these deeper presence for ourselves and for our communities, being fuller attentive to our client work, and again, just being present as a community professional. I'm always there for my community, my clients. I like showing up to these events. I like being there at my son's soccer games. Like everything ties back into who we are as Indigenous individuals. And we did kind of be more interactive with a bit of Q&A, but just want to encourage you all to just utilize the scriptless automations document that I'm going to send out. You'll have access to me via setting up a strategy session if you want to go over any of them. I can help formulate any of these canned responses within that strategy session. That strategy session is for you all as well to engage as someone who isn't a client or hasn't inquired with work with. It's also there too for me to help you with these customizations. And I just want to thank you all for being with me today. And if you have any questions too, feel free to contact me on my email, my website, social media. Everything's embedded of how you can contact me and connect with work with. Share your automations if you set them up. Definitely share it. Tag me. Let me know. how things are working out for you. And
Wonderful.
I think that's
And
it.
then,
But thank you for being here.
awesome. Thank you, Haley. There is one question in the chat if you have time. A quick question about, are there any suggestions for invalid emails? Jerry shared that she sent out a batch of emails, but a lot of them came back with that invalid plain or undeliverable response because people leave their jobs or links are different or links change. And so she was asking are there any suggestions on how to declutter invalid emails any quicker than going through and trying to delete the email?
Well, definitely, I would suggest creating a folder that utilizes that first sentence of the invalid email, because you know how it's that same like invalid email, but it's just 10 times, or it's like 10 of them. If you have 10 emails, just copy and paste that, put it into a folder or a rule that says the subject contains this. Just copy and paste it in there. I would suggest that, and then create a folder that's just all invalid emails. And all of those should go into that folder, and just delete all of those in that folder.
Beautiful. I love that. Here at Change Labs, I manage a couple of emails. So some of them are bots, and it would be wonderful to set up the automation of filtering those guys out.
Yeah, if that's something I can include into that document, I can use that as an example too, like invalid
Oh,
folder.
yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, like I said, I will push out everyone who participated or registered. You will get those links. I will again just ensure that they are public documents. They are step by step. So just like again, everything says settings wheel, settings wheel. Go there and go here, go here. So that document has a step by step of different automations that we went through, but also ones that we didn't go through. And again, set up a strategy call so we can go through them if you want to do more of a one-on-one, or we can think about, or I can hear what your pain points are too and suggest a few ones that aren't on this document. I'm here to help you all.
Wonderful. And Kelsey just shared a comment. So this looks great. Learning more about Gmail and the settings, it can be overwhelming digging into those settings and not knowing what they actually do. And then Marion shared, thank you. Thinking about my time in a new way. Yay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Haley, for your awesome presentation. It definitely sounds like a part 2 is in order. So yeah, everyone else can keep a lookout for that in the coming year. I pitched that idea to Haley and she's absolutely open to it. So I'm excited to see what else we can learn. If you missed any part of this presentation or my introduction at the beginning, woo, it's kitties right here. Any part of my introduction at the beginning of the session, no worries. We are recording right now and we'll have the edited version up on our YouTube channel as soon as we can. And you can go to our YouTube channel now to check out what we have recorded in the past. And if there's any suggestions, maybe we need to update some of the content, or if there's something that you see that you would be interested in learning on, let us know. We are currently scheduling 2026 lineup, this being the last of our 2025 lineup. So it was a really, really good session, I think, to wrap up the year with. Definitely looking into reorganizing and planning out how to be better in 2026, and then also concluding this year too. So thank you so much, Haley. If there aren't any other comments, we will drop off for the day, and I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of your week.